Not particularly frightened of the effects, but I'm always expecting some sort of a weird monstrosity to attack. And you really need to just back immediately, otherwise they'll always get a hit on you. The morgue. Funny how it looks exactly like every other sort of medical place. What I mean is, it would be nice if you could say that it's clearly the morgue without having some sort of a sign telling you it's the morgue. So I'm wondering how many fights against the clones we're gonna still have. The end game of the core game was against the psychic emanations. We're gonna go the same route here or continue to fight against clones. They'll never hear me coming. Thought I used a slow-mo, but apparently not. Try this. Okay. Now we're getting slightly weird again. Seems like there's sort of another world that we can sort of travel through to get past obstacles in the normal world. But it's fundamentally dangerous. And sometimes things come out of it too.
I just picked up a signal. If you can hear me, get to high ground. A chopper is standing by.
I don't believe you. At all. You still haven't taken care of the hostile enemy chopper, so it's just suicide to fly an unarmed aircraft here. Just nonsense. It's just like having an enemy tank in an area and then you just think that you can just drive trucks there casually to pick up people and goods. It just fucking isn't happening. You need to take care of the tank first somehow. I think we're going to go against clones now. A long sequence of paranormal crap. Usually it's paced at least a little bit. I'm redoing old areas. This looks exactly like what I've already been in. That's enough. Shotguns and rifles. Yeah, I've been here before. That feels like the same passageway I dragged my ass over before. Can't say if it's the same though. Yeah, probably is. But everything is back to normal. The morgue door. Yeah, back at the beginning. I have no recollection where I came from. The live flight elevator is operational once again. S.E.A.R coordinator has made contact and directed you to the extraction point on the hospital roof. No other surviving F.E.A.R or S.E.A.R operatives have been found. Proceed with extreme caution. Mission: head to the extraction point on the roof and escape. Epilogue. I'll play through this without ending the recording here.
Stay sharp. Keep your eyes open for that Black Hawk.
How about the hostile helicopter? Yes, no, maybe. Surely it's not gonna appear suddenly a cosmic reef.
You should know better by now.
I know better by now. Turrets. There's extra laser ammunition there, so we can switch to that immediately if something heavy comes our way. Fuck. It's never just basic soldiers with the music blaring. Well, we have good amount of health, good amount of armor, full med kits. And we can always pull. Oh, there it is. Wondering where they appear. extra troops probably. I doubt there's just one heavy.
On the evac chopper.
Ooh, heavy. Yeah, I'm stuck here.
This is Little Bird. We're on the ground.
So when it's going to explode, or when are we gonna get shut down?
Hurry up so we can get the hell out of here.
Color me shocked.
They tried to bury their sins, but instead planted the seeds of their doom. But she would not be forgotten. We will make them remember.
Who's they?
They will die. All of them. A war is coming. I've seen it in my dreams. Fire sweeping over the earth, bodies in the streets, cities turned to dust. Retaliation.
Anything else? Seems a bit extreme for something one corporation did to you. Is that it? Okay. I, I don't see the point of the expansion. It adds a few things, a couple of weapons, things like that, but it doesn't add them to the core game. And doesn't really do anything. And a few new enemies too, but not. It doesn't add anything to the core game. But plot-wise, this might as well not exist. All it really does is wipe out the fact that Fatal dies in the core game immediately, and then kill a few extra of the survivors, and that's it. We already escaped in the core game, and now we sort of escape again, but we don't escape. So, what the fuck was the point of the expansion? It doesn't do any. Well, I was about to say it doesn't do anything story-wise, but it does sort of rewrite or wipe out some of the minor gains you make in the story, so you can keep fighting clone soldiers again. I'm more or less guessing that's the point, because Vettel isn't that amazing of a enemy in this game anyway. He's nothing special, so I don't see why would you really want to bring him back. For all intents and purposes, he should have been just dead, and his voice could have still kept appearing to you. So you would be sort of have an uncertainty about what's going on with that. I don't see how it would be any different. The clone soldiers could still be doing their thing, but again, their commander would probably be the psychic woman at that point, Alma. But I suppose it might allow you to sort of... She wouldn't use them like this. It doesn't fit. She has her own psychic emanations that are much more deadly anyway. So you you have to have the excuse of why are the clone soldiers still a thing, or why are they fighting like like a trained combat unit if their commander is not that. So I sort of I'm not sure where you would go from here, because looking at how Alma has been presented so far in the game, there's no way anyone can basically do anything to her. So just how would you fight her anyway? You more or less would just have to convince her to stop doing this. And that's about it. Also, there's a lot of hinting about things, but again, there's still no payoff. So this is a poor expansion. It's not like the gameplay quality is bad or there's anything particularly bad about it. It doesn't add really anything all that useful or interesting to the core game, so it might as well not exist in that way. It's not totally worthless if you want to play the same whole ways that you play through the core game, a little bit extra against a few different type of enemies with a few different weapons. Yeah, this will scratch that itch. But I suppose my sort of lackluster response to this is that I think the game was sort of on thin ice after the core game already, because it's so repetitive, and this repeats the same thing over again, except Fatal is now alive. So it feels like everything, the minor positive gains of the core game is just wiped out in the first few seconds. And I'm not sure if this is interesting development with Alma or not, because it was sort of, there were more possibilities because you had no idea where things are gonna go from there because of her nature, what's happening. But now you sort of do, and I'm not sure where you go from here as a game. More clone soldiers, more psychic creatures, and then what? How could you, in any conceivable, believable way, do anything to Alma? The only way you could do something is basically if she allows it to happen. There's no other way. There's no reasonable path to fighting her. So I don't know. There's still another expansion. I'm not sure what that's about, but I hope it's something different, anything different, because playing through the core game, playing through this expansion, it's the ice under my feet is cracking pretty severely at this point. I haven't seen anything new in a long time, and the same warehouses and office spaces or laboratory spaces, they're getting tedious at this point. They haven't been able to offer anything interesting in a long time. There's just an occasional heavy walker walking to you, and you have to pump a little bit of a different type of ammo on it. Yay! I do appreciate some of the things like turrets, because they're not good enough to really effectively easily slaughter the enemy, so you can't fight with just them, but they do offer different ways to handle fighting. They allow you to build different type of battle arenas because you don't have to give the player such a clear position that they have to hold, because you can sort of create that position on your own with throwing a turret or two and covering your ass. Same with the mines, although very few actual proximity mines in this game. Powered by GameSpy. Holy shit, haven't heard that in a long time. Anyway, yeah, this is more of the same in good and bad. And at this point, it's starting to veer heavily on the bad side, at least for me. Anything else? Or this isn't going anywhere apparently. Yeah. Not particularly impressed by this. But again, there's nothing fundamentally really bad about it. All the bad comes from more or less playing too much of the same game and it getting too repetitive.